and welcome to another video review from Toko's Toy Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Transformers Legacy Jhiaxus. This is a character from the Generation 2 line of comic books, so let's take a look. Taking a quick look at the box, we can see it's a pretty traditional Legacy line. It has Transformers Legacy right on the top. We have some very nice artwork of the model. We have G2 Universe Jhiaxus right there, and some very nice art here on the side. This shot is the same as this one, but closed in, but it's still really nice. And then on the back, we have some product shots of the figure, and the figure in the out mode. So now taking the box off to the side, let's take a look at the figure. At the face, it's just fantastic. The red helmet works so well. The yellow paint on the face and the silver pipes on the side with the green eyes look so good. Those eyes just stand out so well. Plus the little scouter is well painted, and if I'm correct, it's actually a different type of green paint. And the green on the scouter is darker than the green used for the eyes. And it just looks fantastic. The emblem on the chest also looks pretty good, even though it is a bit small. It does make sense given the location of it. And then going out, the sculpt work on the arms, you have a lot of nice little lines on either shoulder going down to the figure. It just looks fantastic. The silver, especially here for the wires, are so excessive and so 90s. It just looks so good. The figure overall looks fantastic. To the posability, the figure poses very well. We have a ball joint here at the head that makes it look up that far and down not very far thanks to the shin, and of course side to side, but of course it gets stuck with the scouter, so you can't really see that well to the side. Going on to the arms, you have a 360-degree swivel, though it does get interrupted by the wings. As you can see, there is a swivel right above the elbow, plus slightly over 90-degree for the actual elbow. The wrist also swivels from side to side, though I do need to warn to be careful that it can come open right here. This peg, it does peg in, but it's not the tightest, so sometimes you can undo it by accident. And then the fingers actually have a hinge to open, which is so nice. That doesn't usually come in Voyager classes or even the main line. The only other figure I can think of from the top of my head is the leader class G1 Optimus Prime. Going to the legs now, it can kick up that far and it can kick back that far, so not that far back. And then you also have an over 90-degree bend at the knee, which is just fantastic. And we have the typical new ankle pivots, which are just fantastic. And lastly, we have swivel at the waist. And technically, you could count the wings going forward and back on the legs, and you can open up the ones on the back for a more spread out look, which does not look bad whatsoever. It actually looks really good. At the accessories, first we have this Energon gun, which is very thin and made out of clear plastic, so I do recommend to be careful with it. It's pretty thin, fits into his hand just like that, and that looks very good as a sort of small handgun. And then the big one, we have his normal blaster, which is sculpted very well. Lots of good detail going on there. We have a siege peg, so you can put it onto one of the sides or maybe the back if you want to store it. And something I really like is that there is a hole on the back of the gun here, because you can actually, if I could get it off, it's very tight in there. There we go. You can take out the scouter bit from the scouter, and pop it on the back of the gun like a scope, and it looks very, very well. And I believe this piece can be hidden into the chest if you want to remove it, which is so cool. And it makes me think that this guy might be remolded into something else, but I'm not really sure what he could be remolded into. But it would be very interesting to see what they could do with this mold, because it is so, so good, and the figure is just so, so good. Now let's go into the transformation, which is pretty good. It's not the best that I've seen, if I'm being entirely honest, or at least I've gotten so used to some of the current line that feels much better. So let's get into that.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, robots in disguise. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, robots in disguise. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons.
And here we have the vehicle mode, and it absolutely is a Cybertronian jet. You have the arms just kind of sticking out, no proper landing gear, though you could use these wings, as I tend to do, to hold it down. But overall, I like the look of it. If we ignore the arm kibble in the back, I think it looks very, very well. The detailing, just like in the robot mode, is amazing. The wings are a bit small from what I know, but I can't be entirely sure. And you do have interplay with the weapons. You can stick the big red gun right under there, though I don't like how the bullet case stands up, and you can put the tiny one there, though it doesn't hold. Okay, it does hold, but it's like loosely there because it doesn't go all the way in. I tend to just leave them off to the side. But yeah, that is Jhiaxus in his vehicle mode. And I do need to say that I do like it, but it's very clear, just like it's Cybertronian, it's made up, it's not based on anything, and that can turn some people off, and I entirely get why. But I'm personally really, really happy with this vehicle mode. So now let's get him back to robot. So now let's get him back to robot mode and do the final thoughts. To start off our size comparisons, here we have the Legacy Jhiaxus that's actually accurate to the G2 comics next to the IDW Jhiaxus from Generations. Now this guy is very clearly meant to be the same character thanks to the head, but just completely different. And there was an in-comic excuse for why it was so different in the IDW comics, but just taking them side by side, you can clearly tell which one is the better one with the new Legacy version. Though I do need to say that this version, this old Legacy, not Legacy, Generations, is not bad at all. And the mold itself, the original Armada Starscream, is one of my favorites. But this new one is just so, so much better. Staying with that Generations thrilling 30s aesthetic, here we have the new Jhiaxus next to the thrilling 30s Dreadwing. This guy was also from G2, but I never read the comics, so I'm not really sure how the scale is. But if he is smaller than Jhiaxus, then this does look very, very good, and I do like it. Obviously, the Jhiaxus is much better. The engineering has just evolved so much, and it is impressive to think how far we've come in just, what, like 10 years since this figure came out? Maybe less? But yeah, these two look very, very good together, and I'm definitely keeping them displayed together in the collection. And to finish off, we have the rest of the Generation 2 characters in the current Legacy line. We have the Legacy Laser Optimus Prime, G2 Road Rocket, G2 Megatron from the War for Cybertron, and of course Jhiaxus. And this scale works so well. I love how Jhiaxus scales, taking off Road Rocket to the side since she's kind of the worst one. I love how Jhiaxus looks next to Prime and Megatron. It just looks so well. The scale looks completely perfect, and it works so well. Like, I don't even know what to say because it works so well as a new commander next to Megatron and as a new rival for the G2 Prime. It's just a fantastic figure. For some final thoughts, should you get this figure? Absolutely. It is such a fantastic figure with some great pulsability and a really nice alt mode, and it scales perfectly with the rest of the Legacy line. This is honestly one of my favorite figures so far in Legacy, and I didn't expect it whatsoever. When those initial images started coming out, I wasn't a fan of the figure, but now in hand, it's just so good. I highly recommend it. And you can get it at the Big Bad Toy Store, at Amazon.com, and almost any other retailer. It's such a good figure, highly recommended. And also, that's all I have to say for the Generation 2 Legacy Jhiaxus. I'll see you next time with the next video review. Thank you and have a nice day.